All right, today's agenda will begin with a word of prayer. I'd like to invite Emma, a student of the Faculty of Business, to lead us through the word of prayer. Then after that, we begin off today's conference.
Good afternoon, students. We thank God for today. We thank God for administration and everything that is taking over our institution, our institute university. So let us have a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the wisdom given to us. We thank you for your grace and mercy. We thank you for being with us in everything that we do. We thank you for our university. We thank you for the administration. We thank you for the skills, innovative. We are having a great university. We thank you for the innovation that is taking over the university and the skills that we are receiving from this institution. Father, we bless you. We thank you. May you continue strengthening it. May you continue imparting more knowledge and wisdom in our institution. In Jesus' name, Lord, we have been able to pray. Amen. You are entirely blessed.
Thank you so much, Emma, for that wonderful opening prayer for the day. Right now, I would like to invite our Director Academic Affairs to take us through the opening remarks for today's conference. So please let's welcome the Director.
Thank you so much, Professor Ronald. Very good morning to everyone. Good morning. Still you're sleeping. Very good morning to everyone. Good morning. Hey, yes, full of energy. So, to the respected Vice Chancellor, sir, our dear Academic Registrar, sir, to our deans, good morning, sir, and I thanks to all the dignitaries, our organizing team, professors, and all our dear students for attending this very relevant workshop or seminar, which is basically related with the current trends in the IT industry. But these trends are not applicable only in IT industry. These trends are applicable to every type of industry. Either you are working as a lawyer, as a medical doctor, as a business analyst, as a kind of business expert, business leader, manager, or lawyer, engineer, any profession. Wherever you are working, actually these are the topics. That is why it was felt that the students from all these streams should attend this seminar. Because when we talk about the areas of like need of cyber security, which our very learned, intelligent Professor Katina will be sharing with you, that the cyber security. You know that the cyber, whereas it is very good, the web. Similarly, there are some threats are also there. So Professor Kahina will talk with you about that, why it is needed, what exactly is cyber security and why it is required, and what are the importance. And I believe that you understand that cyber working is not limited to one area of working. Whatever you are doing your job in future, or maybe presently, or you will be doing in future, cyber you are dealing every day, and even the household families, they are using the networks. Wherever the network is involved, cyber is there. That's very relevant topic. Then we will be getting very relevant thing from Professor Mayur, that the robotic process automation. Robotics are used everywhere in the world. Most of the countries, like if you talk about the machinery, like automation, mobile technologies, or the automobile technologies, even like in many countries, what they are doing, that to clean the railway tracks, they are using mobile, like robots to serve in the hotel to their customer. The hospitality industry, they are using robots. In many areas already, people or the countries have started robots, and all the other developing countries are also progressing towards that. So Professor Mayur will be talking with you about what is the relevance of that and what are the automation processes details on that. Then our dear Professor Dhanesh will be talking about the details of the DevOps and the full stack development. a very relevant topic which actually will be dealing with the automation processes, and that is required for all the fields, all the areas. Then you will get another one. Sorry, the DevOps and full stack is by Professor Samir actually. And then Professor Danish will be talking about the how you can enhance your business and handle the challenges of your business using the data analytics. Data analytics, like if just I say one word or one sentence. Data analytics is like, first of all, you know data, the very basic need for any task, any decision making, any business. Data analytics is that how you can good way analyze the data, because until you do analysis of your data, you cannot reach to any decision making. It is the basic need for any type of business. Like when you see that MTN is launching a new card, new SIM, Airtel is coming with some kind of new schemes, any supermarket is offering some new discounts on certain products, but not all the products flat discount. They say on this one 10%, this one 20, this one. So they do some kind of analysis. So every business, every corporate, they cannot survive without data analytics. Similarly, another one, our Professor Nasir, who is one of very senior member, oldest member of the university, and very intelligent, and I know all students love him so much. And he will be talking about the future of AI and machine learning. The artificial intelligence. Actually, lots of people, when they start computers, they think that computers are the intelligent devices. Computers can do miracles. But when you start learning programming, when you start learning all artificial intelligence, machine learning, then you realize computer is just a dumb machine. It's not of use if a programmer is not there to put everything, to store the programs, to create the programs, to make the machine working as per your command. So what you want, machine is forced to do that. Machine itself is not intelligent. When we talk about the artificial intelligence, it is you are the creator, you are the programmer, you are the commander of the machine who makes the machine work for you as what you plan, what you command. So in this today's seminar, in this conference, you will find actually you will go through with all the relevant topics, and you will find that all the topics are actually talking in terms of IT, but they are not applicable to IT alone. They are applicable to all the businesses, all the areas. So tomorrow, once you complete your strategy management, your business administration, your hotel management, your applied economics, or your IT area, any area once you complete and you will go in the market, you will find all these technologies you will use, in your own area. That's why it is very important, and I will request to all my students that please, when all the professors will be sharing with you the hard research work of their presentation, they have not created this presentation just in a day. They are working on number of years on this area, and you will be served all this information just in like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, one area. So kindly note down the major points, click some pictures of the slides, take some kind of notes, and at the end of every presentation, feel free to talk questions, to ask questions, to talk something, interact, so that the purpose of this conference actually basically to enhance the skills, adding value to your current knowledge. That is the major purpose. So with these words, I welcome you all on this conference and wish a happy learning, entertaining learning, enjoyable learning, so that you can make your future endeavors very enjoyable and meaningful. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Academic Director, for the wonderful opening remarks for this conference. Okay. I would also like to announce the presence of our guild president, Fahad is here with us. Right now, I would like to call upon the Vice Chancellor, K.M. Matthew, to give us the opening remarks for the conference.
Thank you, Mr. Ronald. Good morning to all of you. Dear Director Academic Affairs, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, Dr. Jiju Paul, Academic Registrar, Dean, Faculty of Information and Communication Technology, Dr. Tyagi, all the faculty members present here, Guild Presidents, and all the Guild members present here, the coordinator of today's seminar, Mr. Mohammed Sharif, who is also the head infrastructure and a cyber security expert. And my dear students, firstly, I congratulate the FICT department and the deans and faculties and the coordinator, Mr. Mohammed Sharif, for organizing this seminar. As you all are aware, ISMART University's uniqueness is giving you more knowledge, more experience, and more practicals on various subjects other than what you are teaching in class. You know that we were conducting number of seminars and workshops. Our own university staff and with others like the IIII, Uganda, they were coming and conducting various classes for electronic and communication and other students also. And we had another workshop conducted by the management faculty on 22nd on security and investment. And on Saturday also there is another seminar by the IIII and electronic and communication department, our engineering department, where you all are requested to attend. Even if a management faculty is conducting a seminar, I would advise you to participate when you don't have any classes. Whenever you attend a seminar or listening to a speaker, you are enhancing your knowledge. And you don't restrict yourself to only that particular branch where you are specializing. You have to navigate through various other subjects to be expert in your particular subjects and to be aware of other multidisciplinary activities. And this moment I also want to announce to you all that our university has been awarded the Quality Excellence Award for the best ICT Engineering and Business Solution University in East Africa. Yesterday, Dr. Pradeep Kumar has given a presentation about the university and received the award. I request all of you to give once again. I congratulate our chairman, board of directors, and director academic affairs, and all the marketing team who have worked hard for it. Once again, I congratulate the entire team for this. You are also aware that we are going to launch a relaunching of new version of integrated students management system. As you are aware, our ERP system is one of the best in this country. Number of universities and other organizations came to our university to benchmark this system. Then we found certain drawbacks and we have rectified that. The new version is going to be inaugurated on the 2nd of December at the same place in this auditorium by the Honorable Minister Dr. Chris Bremos, the Cabinet Minister for Information Communication Technology on 2nd December, Friday at 11 o'clock in the same auditorium. I also congratulate our technical team for working hard to make the best version of the ERP, and it will be more student friendly. I assure you that the present technological difficulties you are facing, it will be overruled and it will be overcome by next Friday. And I request all of you to be present on that day when the Honorable Minister launches our new version of integrated students management system. I will also request you all can bring your parents that day. We are planning a parents interactive session. Your father, mother, or anybody or guardian, anybody want to come on next Friday, 2nd, they are all most welcome. The respective coordinators will give you a invitation letter, and the same has to be filled and confirmed, so as we make arrangements for them. So it will be starting at 10 o'clock, parents interaction. Then 11 o'clock, the minister, honorable minister, will be launching the new version of the integrated students management system. So I request all of you to cooperate. Our university is one of the best university, and you have to take maximum benefit out of this. And today's the talk which is going to continue. This on multi-discipline, multi-subjects. Please understand and make use of the talk by our expert faculties. With this, I once again congratulate the organizers, the Department of FICT, and all the students who have come here. I wish you all best wishes. May God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, our Vice Chancellor, for those opening remarks for today's seminar. Before we continue, let's all put our hands together for the efforts of the head of organizers for this ceremony, Senior Muhammad Shamim, who has made this effort come true. Let's first of all appreciate that. All right, so the seminar begins now. I would like to invite the keynote speaker for today's seminar, Dr. Juju Paul, the academic registrar for Iskat University.
I expected a big applause when my name was called, like Messi. Thank you. There is a football field going on, right? Okay. Good morning, respected Vice Chancellor, the Director of Academics, our respected deans, honorable professors, the office bearers of Guild, and our Guild presidents, all members of Isbat fraternity, and dear fellow students. A very warm good morning to all of you. Can you all see me properly? Now, I am thankful to all of you. There is a big reason behind that, because I'm going to share my life experience, because life is a transformation. Our life is a transformation. No, we all, like me, at the age of 50, I was also like you. Sitting on the seats, great speakers come, I think, man, these are a lot of things happen. I'll be I want to become something of my own. But I'll tell you, all these things are going to make a transformation in our life. This is most important we have to understand. Our life is a transformation. Of course, it's a biological transformation from cells to organs. Then a physical transformation from the childhood to adulthood. I don't want to speak other than that, because I always want to be that adulthood. Sometimes I go childhood days. Then there is an emotional transformation to accommodate and hate people. I know we are very good in that. And moreover, a transformation for well-being of life. This is very important. A transformation for well-being of life. You have to decide how you can achieve well-being in life. At every moment, we are transforming. Every moment. Because our surroundings are so fast. So we want to cope with our surroundings, so we need to transform. And it is our responsibility to transform. Nobody will induce you transformation. It's you. You decide. Do I have to transform? Or I say slack? That you have to decide. It's very important. And if I go with technically, we know transformer. You can see the electric supply lines transformer. It always uses high energy to cut down to low energy levels. Maybe in the electricity scenario, I'm not so good in speaking on that one. But when individual transformation comes, we always should have high energy. Your energy should not be stepped down. It should always be boosted up. So transformation is very mandatory for every individual. Now, as a grown-up individual, we have hesitations to many things. We have likeness to many factors. There may be a reason why you have joined for a program. You may think that I'm going to be a big IT expert, and you started your first programming class, but your teacher may be teaching you how to do a matrix multiplication. Of course, you fail to do that in your schools. And when you write a program with a lot of loops, you thought, man, it is better to join for a bachelor's degree in business administration or in marketing. I'm going to be a superhero in marketing. But we have to understand one thing. I know some of you are facing this now. Even I do face that in my life. Here, we need to make our transformation. So I told you, to transform, you need high energy, isn't it? It's very mandatory, you need a high energy. So now you think that, don't misunderstand this by thinking that, okay, I keep a case of Red Bull with me. Of course, it is very costly. It is very costly, but I'll have a case of Red Bull, not like I transform. So let me have some bull shots. Man, it's not that. What you need is your mental energy or the energy from the mind. It's just an attitude. So when you sit here, what you have to understand, if you don't create that attitude of transformation in your life, there is no point of being here. What all these expert speakers going to put on you or flood on you will do nothing on you. You say, I'm an economist, I'm an HR, it's all programs, computers. No man, I'll share my life. So what I say, so the recipe for transformation, do not keep anything away. Do not keep anything away. For IT people, economics. IT people, accounting. My IT friends, you have to learn all accounting things, basics of accounting. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to suffer. So, we cannot keep anything away, but everything should be a takeaway for us. What is a takeaway? You go to KFC, pay something, take away. So, if an IT student listens economics, it's a takeaway for the IT student. If a management student understands programming, codes and codex, it is a takeaway for his success. So, transformation, don't keep anything away. Everything should be a takeaway. Now, I need to confirm that when you attend this program, some of topics may not be of your interest because you may hate IT, that's why you are in management. You hate economics, that's why you joined for BSc and CS. Don't think that. It may not be of your interest, but this is going to give you interest for your life. This is going to transform your life. Always my speeches, I share my experience. Many of you know my experience, but some of you don't know that. Still to ascertain my life and the way back, I wish to share my experience with you once again. I started with chemistry in my university because I was good in chemistry, poor in mathematics. But I don't want to study biology. There is no other intention behind that in my life in journey for chemistry. This I'm telling about the story of 1990s. Okay, I don't know at that time your parents were born or not. Now, getting a job, you are not born or not, sorry. Well, at that time, getting a job is very difficult with that chemistry in my place. And my foreign ambitions grown up with me. So I thought, okay, I need an abroad job. So I started my hoteliering job. Man, good life. When I started hoteliering, I found that getting an MBA is good. because I have to know management principles. I have to handle people with the principles of human resources, everything. So I started joining for MBA. Man, I done my MBA. This story in 2000, I understand there is no life without IT. There is no life without IT. At the age of 27 years, I understand that I am helpless without IT. This I am talking about 22 years before. 22 years before. Can you imagine if you don't have IT capabilities? I say you are a dead vegetable, good for nothing. Even you cannot make a date. Take it assured. Without IT, no life for anyone. I don't know, people say biologically, philosophically, morally, immorally, whatsoever. I'm telling my opinion. So there should not be any hesitation. There should not be hesitation to keep IT away from your life. If you breathe, if you pay your UMA bill, if you live in this country, if you fly from Mandalay to any of other airports, it is just because of IT. So don't inhibit yourself from any digital technology. Now, because of the need for knowing IT, I joined for a master's degree in computer application. I passed that program in a successful way with specialized in embedded systems. Now, I think that I'm good in IT. I started lecturing with this back from 2006 onwards. Many of the things I practiced. There was a gap in between, like in 2007 to 2014, where I was not using IT much. There is no use for me now with that master's in computer application. You know why? I'm not updating myself. So I started again. Now I learn Python, then I run on the treadmill. I just completed a 6-hour session on Python. Now I learned how to use an Excel file to be manipulated using Python. Very big, simple codex. Yeah, appreciate me, man. Please. Why I say this? Because I'm a management expert. Now, if I think that I keep codex away from me, it will be very difficult for you. So I'm just making my keynote thing with you. The first thing, if you keep away a digital transformation, but you go to jungle. But still, there are Elon Musk satellites with neural links coming and approaching you to fix in your brain. Soon children are going to be born with or going to be implanted with these neural link chips. Now you do not need a projector, you can see everything in your brain as a visualization with a special device. World is moving fast, man. So if you are an economist, if you want to use an Excel file, if you are a hotelier, if you are a waiter, you work in a kitchen, everywhere IT is required. So please make sure that you have to enhance your IT skills. All the professions, it needs the skill of IT. Now, all these professors or experts going to deliver the use, you have to relate that with your profession. If you are an HR person, if you are a marketeer, if you are an economist, if you are a hotelier, if you are an accounting person, if you are a mathematician, let it be anything. Relate IT with your subject. Good people, authors, the great authors nowadays, they use IT to transform their papers into a better one, to a better publication. So don't keep away yourself from IT. The core things like data analytics for MBAs or BBAs, analytics is a must. Robotics, because I'm not going to see all these things. Professors are here to speak about that. I always watch how this Amazon robotics work. This is one of the world's biggest chain of robotics warehouses. Takes deliver things for you. So I expect there will be a time that is coming. These artificial intelligence, computer vision, IT-enabled technologies, everything, a small watch on your wrist is going to even decide what should be the face color of your baby, which is going to be born. I don't know, nobody's not interested in babies. I see that the MTN show. Somebody was talking about babies. Some reporter was just getting so eager. Man, it's going to come. Devices that are going to change your DNA. Everything is going to come. So, my friends, there may be a suspicion to some people. Now, some are IT people, some are management people. Now, the director of academies was telling there are fully enabled robotic hotels are happening in the world. Now, hoteliers may think where I'm joking. Good. Man, as we are good enough in populating ourselves, we are good enough in populating ourselves on this earth, which is going to touch 7 to 8 billions now. There will be a scope of job. This IT is not going to take away your jobs. That's going to take away your home. You're going to be more employed. But if you don't transform, it will be not be a takeaway for you. That is going to create a mess in your life. Do you want to mess up your life? Anybody, do you want to mess up your life? No, I don't want, you don't, we don't want. That is why this kind of seminar is made in our university. So please attend this seminar. Maybe a subject, maybe an area of your interest. Just try to assimilate. That is going to build your future. Once again, I thank you, all the people behind this seminar. And even when there is a conductor for seminars, there should be audience also. No, I know it's very difficult to sit at this chair, listen to you, somebody say blah, blah, blah. You know, if the subject is of not your interest, isn't it? If the subject is not of your interest, it will become a blah, blah for you. So make the interest in your life just by thinking that at any of my profession, I'm going to use the inputs of this seminar. I wish you all a great day ahead. I know it's going to be a long time to sit here. But you know, the conductors will be going to give you some more fun things in the presentations. And thank you all. Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Once again, let's give a round of applause to our keynote speaker once again. Thank you so much, Academic Registrar, Dr. Juju Paul, for that wonderful presentation to kick off the seminar. As you're all aware, today it is a digital transformation journey, a walk off. This is to be taking, there are certain presenters that are now ready to start off this digital transformation journey. Are you ready? IT students, are you ready for digital transformation? And business students, are you ready? Now, business students are wondering why they are here. Now, all successful businesses today are also incorporating IT into their system. So that's why you're here also. Now, before we kick off with the presenters for today, allow me welcome a special guest who is going to greet you and also tell you about the special surprise for tomorrow. The president of Eastport University.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ronald. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Vice Chancellor, Director of Academics, the Academic Registrar, the Deans of Faculties, all lecturers, students' body, and all the guild representatives present, I greet you all in the name of the Almighty God. Now, there's somebody in the crowd who is wondering, why is it that there is a business student and is a keynote speaker in this seminar? Well, as Mr. Ronald has already told you, IT and business in the current world both coexist in the same environment. Both need each other. They cannot leave each other behind. Digital transformation is something that has taken the world far beyond what we can even perceive with the human brain, but always keep discovering every day and every week and every moment of our life. One day man woke up to the first steam engine. Today man is speaking about an 8-piston V8 engine. One day man would sweat for almost a month to deliver a love letter to his loved one. Today, by just a tap of a sending button, somebody is smiling somewhere. And the world is not going to stop there. It keeps transforming and moving on further. People keep discovering, people keep building more, people keep inventing. The question is, you as a student of Eastport University, what are you doing with whatsoever is being taught to you today and tomorrow and in days to come to transform yourself and fit into the society that is demanding you to offer the best of your capabilities? But we all know we're in the best university when it comes to IT and everything taught. And for all those who have graduated through this institution and left us, they are making marvelous wonders out there. We have a lot of people who have branded this university even beyond what we would expect them to do. And a lot of you who are still here and are soon bringing more change to the world and what it deserves. Well, mine would be keep pushing, keep striving, keep working hardest, keep thinking outside the box, keep socializing, keep networking, keep being serious, keep being open to change, and keep moving forward. I wouldn't like to take much of the time for the rest of the keynote speakers who are to address you. On the side of the guild office, I would like to inform all those who haven't yet been informed that tomorrow, the 25th of November, which is this month, Friday, 2 p.m. till late, we are having an Eastport Freshers Ball, an event that is supposed to welcome the new student community into the institution, as well as give them a chance to know who are the current fathers and mothers in the institution, which makes up a family. So, I kindly request and urge you all to be present. It is going to be happening as an outdoor theme, right here at the outdoor parking. It will be a concert theme. We're going to have a lot of things also coming from sponsors like MTN Pulse. So it's going to be a very beautiful engagement with musicians, artists, performances, and all you can call. I do not want you to focus on the fact of it being a day of entertainment. I would like you to focus on it as a fact of it being a day of social capital, which is what you need tomorrow when you leave this place. Thank you so much for God and my country and the people I serve.
Thank you so much, the president of Eastport University. So the president has already announced a special package for tomorrow, 2 p.m. We kick off the Freshers Ball. Are you all available? By show of hands, how many will come? Show of hands. So you want us to count only one? So tomorrow is your event. Please don't disappoint. All right, now the seminar begins. IT students, are you ready for digital transformation? Yeah. So before we start, I would like to ask one question, then we begin the seminar. IT, what is cybersecurity? Anybody in IT? IT. Anyone to tell us what cybersecurity is? Where are you? Cybersecurity students, where are you? All right, now, since you don't know, the next presenter, one of the experts in cybersecurity, is going to tell us why we need cybersecurity. So are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let me invite Mr. Kajina, the senior lecturer of Eastport University in the area of cybersecurity, to start with the seminar.
Good morning, school. I usually begin by good morning, class. Sydney will show my presentation shortly. So my name is Manzi Kajina, right? Some of you are my students, some of you are not. I'll be speaking about cybersecurity, and yeah, short presentation, only 20 minutes. Try and pay attention. Control. All right. So the topic is the need for cybersecurity in this fast transforming digital era. My name is Zaira Kajina. Yeah, I'll begin off a little pessimistic. Right? It's a bit pessimistic, this quote, but it's very key for understanding. Carl Sagan, about 32 years ago, said, "We live in a society that is absolutely dependent on technology, and yet have clearly arranged things so that almost no one understands technology." Right? That's a clear prescription for disaster. Does that make sense? We live in a society where we are so dependent on technology, but in the same society, almost no one understands how technology works. So on that backdrop, you will understand why cybersecurity is a big problem, okay? We know the benefits of technology. I'll not spend a lot of time here. We use technology every day, whether we like it or not. Whether you have a feature phone or a smartphone, whether you came here by Safe Border or by Mitsubishi, you need technology. To speak about the benefits a bit, education, transportation, banking, cryptocurrency, there are so many benefits. But the problem that I stated earlier is that we are dependent on technology, which we do not know how it works. If you think about the past, technologies like the hoe, you have a hoe, you just go to the garden and dig. Straightforward, right? There's not much in it. But from the hoe, you move to a combined harvester. Think about transportation. You start with a horse. Straightforward. You pull the reins, it goes forward. You pull the reins left, it goes left. You pull the reins right, it goes right. From the horse, you go to a car, right? A motor car, which is an internal combustion engine. Extremely difficult to understand. When the horse falls sick, you treat the horse, you continue. When the car gets a problem, there's a plethora of problems that you can solve. Is it the engine? Is there no fuel? Is it the back? It's just too difficult, right? So the technology that we depend on, we don't understand how it works, and therefore we are susceptible to cyber attacks. But what is cybersecurity? So many words here, but really cybersecurity encompasses everything. The measures that we take to protect ourselves from cyber attacks. I'll speak about a few of the terms. There are very many, but maybe start with networks, right? The reason why there's an increase in cyber attacks is because there's an increase in networking. Right? Digital networks, not social network and sexual network, but digital network, right? So the problem we have is that we are all interconnected. If you have a network that is having, let's say, 100 computers, if one computer gets infected, what happens? All the network computers get the worm or the virus, okay? Another problem we can talk about here is ransomware. Ransomware simply means your data is encrypted by bad actors, okay? Another thing I can talk about is vulnerability. What does that mean? It means being susceptible. It means being vulnerable, but being susceptible to attacks. When you think about security, why do we need security? Why do we need cyber security? Think about your house. Why do you lock your house when you go to bed? Right? Why not just leave it open? Why do you have car keys? Why don't cars just have a door and just enter? Right? Ignition, okay, we have push to start, but even with push to start, you need a key. So cybersecurity encompasses all these things and many more. So what is the importance of cybersecurity? Among very many reasons, these are just four. Number one, to protect personal data. In your house, you're protecting personal items, that's why you have a lock and key, right? Everyone understands how a lock works. Put in the key, turn right, opens, then you lock, right? But now, our belongings, our possessions are not physical items, right? They are digital items, like images, like what else? Like conversations on WhatsApp, your secret conversations, right? Like emails, like what you've uploaded to the cloud. All that is your data, right? But do you know how to protect it? Or do you just use information systems? You have a car, okay? Do you know how to protect it? Maybe you have a lock. Maybe you're super paranoid even by something in the system which switches off fuel supply, right? There's a button that you can have in the car for that, okay? Two is reputational damage. Of course, if you're in my class and my students, I'm always talking about the Lazarus Group or the Lazarus Heist. In 2010, we had the Sony hack, which was the largest corporate breach. So what do you mean by breach? Organizations have secrets, like ISBAT has secrets, right? Even you have secrets, but your secrets are not as important as an organization's secrets. Like Sony Pictures had secrets, like how much you pay the lead actor for this movie, how much you pay the lead actor, lead actress for a certain movie, which movies are coming out in 2024 or 2025. All the secrets. What does the director think about the actors, right? So in one of those breaches that Sony had, one of the directors said Angelina Jolie was not such a good actress, right? But she was just beautiful. That's why she was getting all the roles. So when that information came out, it's not good, right? It's not good. So if information comes out that, this is what Mr. Kadina thinks about Mr. Nasser, right? That would be a corporate breach. And that breach leads to reputational damage, right? I want to talk about Airtel shortly, but one of the biggest risks or the biggest threats for organizations is not losing money, but losing reputation. If you lose your reputation, then what follows is that you lose money because people will run on the bank or people will run on Airtel. In 2008, we had a financial crisis, right? And what led to the financial crisis or collapse is people lost confidence in the banks. So what they do, they run on the banks, right? I've spoken about this before. Fractional reserve lending is where you take your money to the bank, they keep 10% and they lend out 90%. So if you come to borrow, they give you someone else's money. If you come to withdraw, they give you someone else's money. If you come for all your money, everyone at the same time, then the money is not there. So many banks crash. Lehman Brothers, Northern Rock in the UK, etc., and even some large institutions. Privacy. The reason why you want to have some security is for privacy. Think about your home. There's a huge fence around the house. Even in the house, there are doors, right? Why don't you just build houses where it's like this? You enter, the sitting room is here, the dining is there, the clinic is there, right? There's a reason we have partitions and doors and locks to the doors, right? You'd be like, okay, we need doors so that light doesn't come in, but why do you need locks? Because when you're in the toilet, you're doing some private business, right? When you're in the bedroom, you're doing private business. When you're dressing up, so all that physical stuff comes to the digital world. Your conversations, your thoughts, your sentiments, what you think about a certain political leader, your aspirations and ambitions. Maybe you aspire to become the president, but you don't want to let the cat out of the bag before the time, right? So you prepare your presidential campaign, and then if that information is stolen, it's released to the press, and it can undercut your success, okay? And then denial of service. Denial of service. What do we mean by denial of service? What we mean here is you want a certain service, like an example. Someone give an example of a service. Don't think it's just a service. Any service. email is good, but away from IT, think about the future. I'm thinking about management student service. Okay, let me talk about a hotel service, right? When you go to a hotel, the service they offer you is either lunch, because they have a restaurant, or accommodation, because you need to sleep. Imagine after you have paid for the hotel, you've come from a long flight, and you arrive at the hotel, and they say, we're sorry, but the hotel is closed. It's like 4 a.m., right? Imagine at 4 a.m. looking for another hotel deep down in the village, okay? It might be the only hotel for miles, right? So if the hotel has been, if you've been denied that service for one reason or another, it has repercussions, okay? Next. So, again, if you've been in my class, we've been speaking about this for the last 6 weeks, right? I was wondering when New Vision and Knowledge will publish, because the story came out about 6 weeks. Cyber crimes on the front page. It's not every day that you see the front page news talking about cyber crime. So, hackers hit telecom banks in new attack. That was 12th November, Saturday Vision. Then the next week, which was, I think, this last Sunday, the day before, 2 days back, how hackers accessed Airtel Money system. Don't read it, they didn't really tell you how, but it's there, it's a headline, right? So by the time such news comes to the headlines, it means that we have reached some kind of fever pitch, right? Because breaches happen every day, but they're under wraps. We have laws in Uganda that state that if a breach happens, you should inform customers, but organizations don't, for fear of reputational damage, right? But when the pressure is too much and people are complaining, someone will go to the press and say you have to print this story. And when it comes out, millions of people will see it. It has wide-ranging repercussions. People might decide to keep money in their bedroom, under their bed, instead of keeping money in Airtel Money, right? And so this is an example. There are so many. I would spend the whole day speaking about cyber attacks, but this is an example, okay? One of my students recently told me about when he was hacked. It's fraud. You guys have experienced it. People call you and they tell you to dial some numbers, you dial them, and you lose money, right? Anyone experienced that? Anyone who has been hacked, just put up your hand. Do not be shy. Anyone who has. I know one person at least. At least one person. It's difficult to have this group of people and no one has been hacked. And I'll tell you why at the end, right? So this person spoke to me and said, I am an expert in these things. I don't know how it happened that this person was able to convince me and give me. I also looked at him and said, I also thought you are a bit more educated. You are a bit more aware. So the reason why I'm really speaking about cybersecurity is to make you aware. People suffer in silence. They are hacked every day, they lose money, and they don't share this information, right? So the reason I'm speaking is to give you some awareness, but also encourage you to come out and speak about it, right? Don't die in your movie, okay? So this guy was coming to class, you imagine, he was coming to class, someone called him, he didn't say any first stop. He was going to listen to English class. So he went out, picked the phone, and the person told him, your line is going to be disconnected tomorrow. Now, if someone calls you and tells you your line is going to be disconnected tomorrow, just tell him it's okay. Disconnect it. Like, yeah, the lines are 1,000, right? You can get another line, right? If you register your SIM card with your national ID, no one can re-register your number unless you're sure that you didn't register it. But even then, don't panic, right? Relax, tell him it's okay. Don't abuse it, right? So, why was I saying we have a large group of people and it can't only be one person that has been hacked? Because of what John Chambers says, right? John T. Chambers said there are only two types of companies. Those that have been hacked and those that do not know that have been hacked, right? Those that have been hacked and those that do not know that have been hacked. You guys think this that has been hacked? yeah, like twice or thrice. In my experience of being here, my 6 years, we came from home one day, switched on the computers, and there was some ISIS website was defaced. Okay, so we are all susceptible, right? No one is immune, right? It reminds me of that time in COVID where people were like, no, Africans can't get COVID, like our blood, right? But yeah, we got COVID and many people died. So in the same way, we are not immune, but we can take some measures to avoid or delay or deter or avert cyber breaches. Or if there are breaches, the recovery is not as difficult as it would if you've done business continuity planning. All right, yeah, I think I've spoken enough. I'll stop here and entertain questions. What questions do you have from what I have shared? If any, if you don't have, I'm happy to sit down and have another presenter. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Expert Kajina. Questions? Anybody with a question before I let Mr. Kajina sit down? Any questions from the audience? IT students, anybody with a question? Yes, we have one.
Okay, I wanted to ask about hacking. If you're a cybersecurity student or personnel, what precautions or what procedures do you have to take when you're being hacked?
Right, what procedures must you undertake when you're being hacked? Any other question from the audience? Right, another one.
You don't even know that you're being hacked, so you wouldn't even know that you're being hacked.
Good morning. Thank you for the presentation. My question is, what measures should the company take to avoid cybersecurity, to avoid those hacking issues? Then, what qualities should someone or a company look for in a certain person or area that could help them prevent those crimes?
All right, the students of cybersecurity, what qualities a company is looking out for to hire you? Any other question? Any other question? All right, Mr. Kajina, those are the two questions, the precautions and procedures taken, and also what qualities a company is looking out for when hiring cybersecurity. All right, one more last question.
Thank you so much. I would like to inquire when we are cybersecurity need protection, right? So, in case someone needs to set up a security regarding the firewalls, between the host-based firewall and the network-based firewall, which one is supposed to be most influential and effective, or can they be employed in the network? All of them. Thank you.
All right, last.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as you were saying, you said that there are two companies, one that has been hacked and one that is not aware. So as a victim of a company that has been hacked but is not aware, what precautions can you take, not you yourself to get involved in that kind of attack, like your personal information getting involved? Because it's also a criminal case, giving misinformation to any company that makes that when you are consented. Thank you.
It's a long one, but I hope you've understood. All right, let's answer Roscoe.
For starters, I won't remember all the questions. I'll answer generally, and hopefully you'll pick from what I want to share. So for those that have been hacked, what precautions, right? The word precautions starts with pre and caution, right? So caution is the things, the measures that you take to prevent something. Once you've been hacked, they're not precautions. It's already. So what I under the bridge, right? So precautions are pre-hack, right? So what measures can we put in place before we get hacked? Okay. Number one, I started with the pessimistic quote of Carl Sagan about technology. We must strive to understand how technology works. Try. Like, if you start using Facebook, go to Google and ask, how does Facebook work? Right? if you start using a new software, all this information is available. We just don't like to read. So if you understand how technology works, for example, you know that to come to this room, we only access through this door, right? So if this is the entry point, and that door, there are two doors, right? If we have two access points, where will the thieves pass to enter this building, right? Or to enter this auditorium? Only those two places, right? So there's no point protecting the windows, protecting the fans, protecting the lights, right? We must protect the point of entry, where the thief will come in through. So on the network, now we're coming to Nepal's question, we are protecting our hosts, computers on the network from attack. So install a host, install a network intrusion detection system, right? From the entry point. But we are here. One of you might be the thief, right? We must not forget that thieves don't only come from outside the perimeter, right? We have an insider threat. So there, now you need a host-based intrusion detection, because the thief might not be coming from outside, but from within. Is that okay? Now, the precautions of a company or personal cybersecurity, if you can, again, read, learn, study. The more knowledge you have, the more information you have, the better protected you are. Assume a suicide bomber told you tomorrow at game, I'm planting a bomb that will explode and kill hundreds. Will you go to game tomorrow? Because you have information. So forewarned is forearmed. If you don't know, you will be hurt. So you need to somehow, maybe through attending a school like this that I'm doing a bachelor's degree, you need to arm yourself with information and knowledge. You must be on Twitter, you must be on YouTube, you must be on LinkedIn, you must be on Facebook, and you must follow every cybersecurity, not every, but a large number. Because the more knowledge you have, like when a new exploit is discovered, it will take maybe like 2-3 weeks or even 1 month for Microsoft or Facebook to release the patch. When the patch is released and you are aware of it, then you can patch your systems. If you are not aware of the patch, you remain vulnerable because you didn't know. So sometimes ignorance is the biggest threat. So try to arm yourself with knowledge, and the knowledge is readily available. You don't have to look very far for it. You can find it, okay? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, ask.
I have a question. Yeah. Okay, so I can say that a system, a secure system, must protect the entry points. You've given an example of this room. We have 2 doors. So we have to concentrate the security on these 2 doors. But concentrating the security on these 2 doors, I don't think that's sufficient, because we still have doors. We have cameras here. Maybe we can have a layer ventilation pipe, big one. Once we have those ones, I think a good thing does everything to make sure it's not caught. So if I know this is the system, there are 2 entry points, and these 2 entry points are secure, why should I choose to pass through the window or through the air ventilation pipe? I can do that because I know your security is concentrated on these 2 entry points. Those are the points you know a thief can come from. But there are some other entry points, like windows, air ventilation pipe. I can use all those.
All right, thank you, Chituli. I gave an example of 2 doors. What I meant is all the entry points, right? There's no point focusing on 2 entry points and leave other 2 empty, right? So any point of entry, any port of entry, airport, seaport, land port, porous borders, any port of entry, right? So if the ports are secure, well, you pass, right? So I'm not saying just the 2 doors, but anywhere someone can pass, set it off, ventilation, HVAC, windows, everything. But yeah, ports of entry, anywhere someone can pass, they will pass. That's what I meant to say.
Answering to some of the questions, I can also add, when he was asking, what could be an attack which can happen within inside, or it could be from any sort of windows. Hope I have taught some of my students. Most of the cyber attacks, only 20 to 30% of the cyber attacks can happen directly from outside. Rest of, or most of the cyber attacks can happen only within. The hacker gains control of one of the hosts in the network and he starts performing his attack. Do you all agree? Cybersecurity students, I need your words. Do you all agree? So, to protect this, we need to segregate or segment our networks and we need to intermediate them using a proper firewall. Whether the threat is expected from outside or threat which is expected within inside, right? I don't want you to roam around my network. For example, he's saying that is there a way to interpret on this question, right? You've been trying to talk about that traffic which can be filtered from outside the internet. What could be, it can also come through my Wi-Fi network, right? I don't know how many of you are trying to hack my Wi-Fi network. Anyone? Ahmed? I know it is you. Ahmed. I can give you a ransom if you hack my Wi-Fi network because it's one of the internal components, right? Which is safeguarded by different layers of firewall. The different layers of firewall with an application rule, right? Application filter. And we also have certain kind of intrusion detection system. The moment when you think of hacking, right? I'm notified. So whether it comes through the window, can I see the person who's asked the question again? I know it is you, you would have been asked the question. Another thing is, what is the precautionary method? People are talking about precautions, right? What should I do? There is no precautions. Only thing is you get your users aware of it. The biggest threat to an organization is who? The end users, right? Illiterate or half-baked IT users are the biggest threat to an organization. An organization, when you get into the chair of a cybersecurity admin, you need to conduct periodic drills, exercises, to make them a visibility of an attack performed. You just show them that you attack their computer and switch on their web camera. That's what I'm teaching in ethical hacking, correct? So you should, the precautionary method is, let's literate those half-baked IT users. They are the biggest threat to an organization. There's no other precautions. A proper firewall, as Mr. Kajina told, the knowledge about it, you are protected. Got it? Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, you know my name. Yeah.
My question is, first of all, you're one of the genius cybersecurity.
God is the genius.
Before you there.
Yeah.
But my question is, have you taken time to train at least one student to do exactly like you? So that 10 years to come, it's no longer wrong. That student can help other people. Because
Thank you. I got your question. Can the students wake up whom I taught how to hack the computer? Can the students wake up whom I taught how to hack the computer ethically? I need a big round of applause for this. When I die or when I go, right? When I go away, right? Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Samin. Now, the audience we are short of time. Please, we'll only take 2 questions from the next presenters because of time, okay? One to exhaust all the presentations. So we cannot take more than 1 question, okay? All right, today I would like to call upon the next presenter who is going to take us through how we analyze data to make meaning out of it. So let me welcome Mr. Danish to go through data analytics.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm here to talk about how to change or transform business through data analytics, how to modernize business. So when you say modernizing or transforming the business, right, through data analytics, now what were we doing before we modernizing? And what do you mean by modernizing the business through data analytics? So we were doing a simple analysis of the data, just using the key performance indicators. So if it is in a sales data, we see some key performing indicators like the total profits, the profits, revenue, costs, dates, right? All these are the key performing indicators. But then I just use the companies, the business data, what I have. So I play within the boundaries of the business data, right? And do analysis on that data. Now there is no usage of algorithms or data-driven decision making. When it comes to the modern business, the new innovators, or the leaders, what they do is they focus more on data-driven decision making. Algorithm fused, right? Data analysis. So what do you mean by data-driven decision making? Data-driven. Yes? Can anyone say what is data-driven decision making? Yes?
Thank you. I think it is using the data available or the data you have achieved to make meaning out of it or to make a decision using the data that you have acquired.
All right. So she said that making use of the available data. So basically what we are trying to do here is with the data-driven decision making, we make use of the key performance indicators, right? With the help of key performance indicators. And then we draw insights, careful insights from this data. And we could achieve this not with just the data, the business data that we have. We may need to bring in data from external sources. So data has to come not just from within the boundaries of the business, but also externally. So if you see, to begin with, before data analytics, you all know what is data. So I don't want to explain more about what is data analytics. Data is everywhere. I could see some of you using your phone, WhatsApp, Facebook, or any, right? Yes. You are exporting data, am I right? Yes. You're producing data, am I right? Yes. So data is around everywhere. So the term big data, the technology, right? We say the big data analytics, the big data means handling such tremendous, right, a gigantic amount of data. And how are we going to deal with this data? How are we going to analyze this data? Am I right? What tools we use where we can draw some key insights from this data for better decision making. So companies today, right, depend on external data a lot. Data from, right, social media, right? And data from various other factors from a market research company. And then use these data and to study what the customer really needs so that they can improve the customer's experience or viewing experience. I can launch a product. I can come up with some promotions. So next month we have Christmas, right? So you can see the supermarkets launching with lots of promotions. Am I right? Yes. So on what basis they can decide whether I should be giving a 20% or a 30% or a 40% discount on my products? Yes. Yes. This is analysis based on a critical analysis, right? We're going to so I'm in the right place. Yeah. Okay, so depending upon these factors, the key performance indicators, I'm going to look at, right, and come up with a decision where how I'm going to promote my products and how much of discounts I should be giving. So if you see the global data, we are talking in zettabytes. So zettabytes is what? So we came from terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes. Next is yottabytes. You see that? So if you see, we can't say how much of exact data it is because as I was saying, you were just exporting some data now recently. Yes, from your phones. So we can't say exactly how much of data is there, but you know that the size we can assume of the data globally, you can say in zettabytes. So maybe like roughly around 100 zettabytes. So what's next after zettabytes? Yottabytes. So when you say zettabytes, so this is tremendous amount of data. You're not thinking about GBs or TBs here. It's zettabytes. Too much of data out there. Right? So data is just raw facts. Right? It's present everywhere in the form of structured and unstructured. Am I right? So when you say structured, which is tables, right? A tabular format, it's already in structured format. Now that's what the analysis we've been doing. We were depending more on what? Structured data before. Now we are in a position now, we don't need to just deal with structure, we can also deal with unstructured data. What is unstructured data? It comes in the form of multimedia, pictures, videos, audios. All this becomes what? Unstructured. So I can do analysis also on these unstructured data. That's the modern business where we are talking about, what you're talking about. You understood? So these data, you can see the zettabytes we're talking about. These just generated over the last 2 years alone. So you can imagine, right? Of course, with the growth of social media and so on, YouTube, you can imagine how much of videos in YouTube, am I right? How much of tweets done at this time, millions in every minute and every hour. So what's the future? Data analytics is the future. So I'm just drawing a quote. Data analytics is the future, and the future is now. As I said, the mouse click, every page you open, right? Every activity you're doing on the internet is generating data. And data is the new gold or the new oil, what we say. Am I right? So from these data, I'm going to draw useful insights, which means information. Am I right? So information is what? Processed data. I can relate the data. I can relate the data, and I can make or draw useful information from it. Understood? So the objective of this session, I'm going to just take you through a definition of data analytics, the essential data analytics capabilities, the top use cases for data analytics, the types of analytics, and some practical demonstrations I'm going to do using some business intelligence tools. Understood? Right? So I'll make it quick, my time is limited. So what is data analytics? As I told, I gave you some idea of it. It says the definition is the process of examining data sets in order to find trends and draw conclusions about the information they contain. Examining data sets. So first thing is you need to have the data set. This data set has to be properly transformed into the target data, meeting the goals of the business, the key performance indicators of the business. You put the data in a format ready for analysis. Once you have the data, this data can come from various sources. Understood? This data can come from various sources. You first place the data, right? And then you can transform this data and draw useful insights by doing advanced analysis. The essential data analytics capabilities you can see, business intelligence and reporting. Of course, when I say data analytics is a part of business intelligence, you understood? When you say machine learning, artificial intelligence, data analytics, all this being part of what? The bigger umbrella, which is what? Business intelligence. So the essential capabilities of data analytics is business intelligence, and it can do advanced analytical processing and reporting, right? Data wrangling, data preparation. So means you bring the data from various sources and then you clean those data, remove those dirty data, and put this data in a target format ready for analysis. So once you have the data with you, you go to the next step, which is visualizing the data. Visualize it. So we have to use some powerful visualizing tools to visualize the data. And I'm going to take you through some of these tools later. Now, one of the other essential capabilities should be geospatial and location analytics. This is also very important during analysis. So I have to know my target customers, where they are, the location of it, where I should be targeting my business to. You understood? Yes. So predictive analytics is something which is what makes it the analytics more powerful. Predictive analytics, one which can predict the outcomes, one which can predict the future of my business, right? How much of sales I can expect, which I can predict maybe over the next year. I can do a predictive analytics with the current pattern of data, right? Making some patterns and then draw conclusions for predictions. Machine learning, you would have heard of. So we can automate the task by using powerful algorithms with machine learning and enable, right, powerful analytics. And streaming analytics, where the data can be drawn from various online or web services or web platform, understood? Which is the streaming services. So when you see the top use cases for data analytics, detecting anomalies, managing the customer data, managing the risk, detecting fraud, personalizing and customizing, performing market research, analyzing the operations. So basically, I can use analytics, data analytics in various businesses. We can use for marketing, I can use it for logistics, I can use for insurance, I can use for medical, right? I can use for finance, I can detect fraud when it comes to the finance. I could predict the pattern of disease and a possible disease using what? Data analytics. This comes for the medical and also for the insurance where they want to detect possible fraud. We can also use data analytics. And basically then we are doing for market research. We can analyze the customer's preferences, what they really need, right? And how to target a certain group of customers. We also see the different steps to use data to solve business decisions. Understand how do you do this? The 5-step process to solve business decisions. How? Understand. First thing is understand the business problem. First, understand the problem, the business problem. See what the problem is. Identify the problem, right? Then next, collect, identify the data relevant to the problem. So here is where we identify the key performance indicators. Next, prepare the data for analysis. So I'm going to just demonstrate all these key points, right? Using the tools. Next is preparing the data for analysis. So when you prepare the data, that's very important. So as I said, data is coming from various sources. And these data from various sources may be in different formats, right? So I have to transform this data into a target format. The format what the business is using, am I right? And then what I do is analyze the data to generate insights. So from that cleaned data, transformed data, what I have, I'm going to draw what? Key insights or useful insights, which is going to be used for better decision making. That's what the last point is, data informed decisions. This is the data driven decision making process. So what's the responsibility of a data analyst? We can use the pre-existing data to solve a problem, create reports, create dashboards, help gather incremental data from new sources. So once you have data established, you can also draw, or you can just import more data, right? And improve the analysis process. So basically, if you see the data analytics of four types actually. One, descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive. I just make it short here, right? You can just go in detail. You can just research more about it, but let me just make it simple for you. Descriptive analytics. So descriptive is just a way of analyzing the past data. You understood? What has happened already? You understood? Descriptive. So what has happened already in the business? The sales which is already done, right? And then we're going to analyze that historical data using descriptive analytics. Now, diagnostic analytics is, as the name says, diagnostic. We're going to diagnose what went wrong. So the outcome of the descriptive, we're going to just analyze what went wrong. That is diagnostic analysis. So some of the areas or the indicators or the key indicators, if it is a decrease or an increase, so you want to analyze what has happened in the descriptive analytics. You could do that using diagnostic analytics. So diagnostic analytics says what went wrong, what really happened, understood? So predictive analytics, as the name says, right? Predictive. So make predictions. So we can use machine learning, artificial intelligence algorithms and make predictions of how how are we going to perform in the next few months, right? What's the sales going to be? So how am I going to launch a new product? I want to study the target customers. So I can rely on predictive analytics. So as I said, we are using machine learning, artificial algorithms, and this process is also called as augmented analytics, where we are using what? Machine learning and artificial intelligence. Now, the outcome of the descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive. From the predictive. So predictive says what's going to happen, am I right? What is going to happen? Now, the prescriptive is, it's one of the rare analytics what we use. The prescriptive is from all these analytics, result of all these analytics, the outcome of all these analytics. And we then try to come up with the steps, how to achieve those goals, what is derived from all the other three analytics, which is what? Descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive. So what are the tools we can use for data analysis? So we have SQL, the structured query language, right? The default language what we use to interact with database. Am I right? Yes. So it's a powerful query language, and that's something which you need to be learning, right? If you want to do analysis, of course. We have the languages like R, which is built for analysis, Python, which is also a very powerful language. We can use it for analysis. Excel. You're wondering, like, even if we talk about modern tools, major businesses still use what? Excel for analysis. So Excel is powerful. I'm going to show you today what you can do with Excel. Statistics knowledge is crucial. Data modeling and data analytic tools, right? Other data analytic tools. So I'm going to just show you the different data analytic tools. We have, of course, SQL, the programming language, Excel, and Tableau is a powerful tool. You can use the data analytics tools like Power BI. So these are also called as OLAP tools. OLAP stands for OLAP. Online Analytical Processing. You understood? Online Analytical Processing. Now, the systems what we use today, right? The current systems. If you go to the ISBAT, you are using the portals, am I right? Yes, ISBAT portals, where you are watching the notes, videos, and so. Now that's a system, a current system. We call it the OLTP system, Online Transaction Processing System. So these systems, what we're talking about is Online Analytical Processing System, OLAP systems, which is built for analysis. Understood? They are built for analysis. Means I can use Tableau, Power BI, SAS, right? All these OLAP tools to do that job for me. So SAS is also a business intelligence tools which has a rich, good GUI, also used mostly by the business community. We have IBM SPSS, is also a data analytic tools, right, from IBM. So SAS is from the SAS Institute, and we have Tableau from the Tableau Corporation, but then later acquired by Salesforce. We have Power BI from Microsoft, I think most of you, and we are very well versed with Microsoft products, right? And we know its user-friendly features and very quick to learn or do things which you can do in Power BI. So I'm just going to also demonstrate a simple analysis of Excel and Power BI, right? So can we go to the Excel dashboard?
Please minimize this presentation first. Come up with the presentation. Come on. It's minimized. How about the alt tab is working? Yes, please. Should we change the duplicate? Yeah. You can use that, right? From here. You can operate similarly.
You see that? This is Excel. So can you just first show the sales data? Or you can just show the data, what we have. Now this is sales data which I have loaded into Excel, right? So can you just scroll up, show the headings? Yeah, it's there. So you have the date, day, month, year, customer age, And there are some key performance indicators what we're going to use for the dashboards. So I'm using the gender, I'm using the country, I'm using the product category, I'm using the date. Can you just go to the right? So there is product category, the number of units sold, I can use it, the order quantity. Then can you scroll to the right? Yes, the cost, the revenue, and the profit. All these are the key performing indicators which I'm going to use. So can you go to the dashboard? Yeah. Now this is Excel, right? So I have placed these slicers here, which I can use it for just draw the analysis based on these key the fields, right? So what we have used here is the country, where you can see the different countries where the sales have happened. So this is basically the sales for motorbike, right, and its accessories. So the sales for this motorbike has been carried out in different countries and over these years, from 2011 to 2016. Now I have placed a bar chart here, a pie chart here, and I have placed all these references to the key performing indicators on the top. Can you scroll to the right? Also, I have placed the male and female gender customers based upon their gender, male and the female. So, and also, I'm just displaying the star product, the product which is performing, right? Which is performing out of all the other products, which is bikes. So, can you just go to the left? Now, I'm going to use the sizes. Can you just zoom out? Let's reduce it. Again, yeah. No. Zoom in, yeah. Yeah, take the left. Now, okay, I think we have to zoom in again. I'm not seeing the country. Yeah, onto the left. Okay. So you can see, for example, I want to see the sales figures, the sales which has happened for the country in Germany. Just can you click on Germany? And you can just see all this, the charts and the other fields which is referring to that slicer country, Germany, have changed accordingly. You see that the total profit, revenue, cost, units, and the males and the females. So can you just select any other country? Canada. You can see all these fields are updated automatically. Am I right? And I can see the sales figures which is happening for Canada. Can you just click on the year? So in the year 2015, in Canada, this was the sales. It was the profit and made, revenue, cost, units sold, and this the number of male and female customers. So you can go to the left. Yeah. So yeah, you can just maybe select United States. Yes. So all this are dynamically updated. So this is a dashboard, an Excel dashboard I've used for analysis. So means still businesses uses what? Excel majorly for data analysis, and you can just easily create such a dashboard with the data what you have. Now I can also refresh this data. There is this refresh, right? But you can refresh this data and pull more data from the connections you made to that source, which is pulling the data. You can do all this in Excel. Now I want to switch to a powerful tool, better than Excel, which is coming from the same family, Microsoft, right? You can switch to Power BI. Now this is the dashboard I've created with the sales data what I have. And you can see on the left is the navigations to different pages. And also I've placed the key indicators here, the gender, the slicer, based on the country, we can just change the whole scenario. The sales view based upon the country slicer. This is a donut chart I used and a bar chart, right? So can you just click on any of the country? So all these figures changes accordingly, right? Depending upon the country what you have selected. Now, yeah, it's the male and the female customers. You can also click, let's say, Canada. Yes. And I've also put some measures and conditional columns to derive these potential customers. Now, this was not there in the data column. I've added this column. So means you can add in measures. So measures are the metrics what we use for analysis. So the columns which contains those metrics, like profits, right? The units, the quantities of the order. All these are the measures which I will be using for this analysis. And on the left side, I can just go to, let's say, the year. I can click on the year, it goes to the year, and it shows the pie chart. And you can see the different years, the years of the sales. And can you click? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So which is performing well? Which year? 2016. That's 2015, right? Okay. Can you right click 2015? Can you drill down? This is 2015, right? I'm drilling down. I'm just going for a deeper analysis. What has happened in the year 2015? So in the year 2015, it shows the different quarters: quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. Can you right click quarter 4? Yeah. And drill down again. This, we're going for deep analysis. This is what we call multi-dimensional analysis, which we can do, right, using these tools. Now, it's showing for that fourth quarter, it's showing October, November, December, the difference, the sales, what has happened, right? And the profit we made. You got it? So, when you're doing these analysis, of course, in the dashboard, right, it also changes, the figures changes in the dashboard to the drill down. So what is drill down is like just moving my analysis from what, the year to the quarter, and quarter to the months. Even I can drill down further. Can you just drill down December? Right click, drill down. In December, everyday sales. You see that? Now, can you drill up? Up. Up. Here, right? Now, can you, this is 2015 sales, the sum of profit and the percentage. Now, can you right click here and go to analyze? So I want to analyze why there is an increase in 2015 alone. Now, the Power BI is, right, is giving the analysis, right? And it says bytes accounted for the majority of the increase among the product category, offsetting the decrease of accessories. Relative contribution made by the product, bytes changed the most, which means made the increase in the year 2015. Now, can you go to the map? You can also have this geospatial data also can be analyzed using Power BI. So I can just move my mouse over here. It's United States, the sum of profits, right? And different locations where my sales have happened and the profit I made. Okay, so this is Power BI for you. Now, I want to just go to the R Studio. Now this, I've used the R programming scripts to do a simple analysis. We can also create a dashboard with some more time. Now, if you see the time I've taken to create Excel, I've just spent 1/10 of the time to do the same in Power BI. So you can see that, right? And this is R. And I've just used one function, you see this? GG data, right? You can just install different packages for analysis, or be for analysis, by just saying install packages, import these packages into your environment, right? And then this is the data which I'm reading. Do you see that? Sales dot what? CSV, comma separated file. And that's what I was using for all these analysis, a comma separated file, a text file I've used. You see that? I didn't use it to connect to a database. So then GG data, I'm just using a function called GG plots with setting some options within these functions or arguments. Can you execute GG data? I want to see the sum of profits I made for different product categories. Let's click on that. So this is R script. The simple script I've used in one function doing the job for me. And R is built for what? Analysis. When you compare to Python, so Python is a general purpose interpreted language just like R, and Python can do very many things, right? Machine learning applications. So it's a general purpose language. But R, if you see, is built specifically for data analysis. So if you like to choose between R, you can choose any, right? But these are the two leading programming languages we can use for data analysis. Right? So you can also integrate R and Python in Power BI. So Power BI have the options. Just quickly, can you go to the Power BI? Can you go to visualization? You see that in the visualization, I can bring in the R and the Python scripts here and improvise it. Understood? And you can also go to get data, right? Click on the get data. More. Me not just loading from a single text file or Excel. I can use very many platforms where I can draw data from. Understood? Databases, online services, clouds, and so on. Right? So we can make use of such powerful data and tools to improve the business, to make your business to the modern age, right? And be the new innovators. You got it? So with this time, I'm just typing some additional time, sorry. But I just want to show you the demonstration using these tools, right? So this is data analysis for you, right? So can I take some questions, like 2 questions? Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barry. One question goes like this. As we have data, how can you go measure your performance? Then as an analyst, you represent of the sample in the process of analyzing. How can you
Like you're saying that how are we going to, as a student, right? Student, how are we going to? The challenge is using the tools. Okay, but you're learning data analytics. Yes. So,
Yes, I'm asking her, like, if as an data analyst, you always encounter some problems in the process of analyzing data. So how can you go by solving these kind of problems? Then lastly, this part, we are very sure we have a lot of data, not only this part, but other companies also have data. So how do you go by in measuring the performance of?
If companies have data, of course, that's the job of a data analyst. Now today we have the time I've gone, like we have come from the time where we need experts. No, we had experts which were doing the job of data analysis. They were highly trained to do the job. So today we have a citizen data analyst, right, which is doing the analytics today. Means you, me, right? We can do powerful analytics without much of a high-end training. You understood? So means with such tools, right? With some basic skills, I can do data analytics. Now, if a business is requiring data analysis or needs to load data and do advanced analytics, that is why I was giving through some of these tools, right, which you can use to do that job for you. And when you're facing, of course, when you are loading data, we're going to face a lot of challenges. Of course, you might need to write a lot of queries. That's why SQL comes in. We need to do the different statistical functions. The knowledge of statistics is required, right? And then a bit of scripts or programming, right? If you want to improvise further using machine learning, artificial intelligence, you need to know the scripting languages, right? So you have to use R or Python to do that job. So basically, to create the data before analysis, that's the challenge we have, transforming the data. And we have to do this using all these skills, right? Using all these skills and then transform this data. So we have to identify all those dirty data, right, or improper data, and remove those data and bring it to a target format, which is meeting your business domain, right, and then analyze from there. Yes. Right. Any more questions? Yes.
All right, members, a round of applause again for our presenter. Now, due to the constraint of time, please allow us not to take more questions because we still have more presenters. Thank you so much, Mr. Danish, for that wonderful presentation regarding data analytics. Now, let's have the next presenter or expert to take us through the future of coding. Let me invite Mr. Samir to take us through the future of coding.
Thank you. A very good afternoon to all. So now we change from the good morning to good afternoon. And by this change, we learn some new technologies, some new ideas from a digital transformation. Okay. So in this session, we'll start with another digital transformations that is in the software development era. So this technology I'm going to talk about is the DevOps and full stack. Now, the term DevOps, what does it mean? What does it mean, DevOps? Development operations. If you see the last traditional software development, how does it work on? There used to be a development team which plans for the software development, start the coding. Once the coding is done, the testing, give to the operations department to send to the customer, take a feedback, integrate, maintenance, and now the customer says we need this change, testing team says we need this change. Call back the development team again and let them know what are the changes that needs to be done. And this will take too much time in the development processes. Because now the development teams work separately and operations teams work separately. So looking at this drawback, the industries now come up with the DevOps, development operations. So the development team and operations team works together in collaboration with each other, and the development team is a continuous integration. Develop, collaborate with the operations team, take a feedback, update. So it's now the development team and operations team's collaborations. So in this sessions, we'll just see what is a DevOps, the technology, the tools that can help us to automate this process. So a DevOps is automation of the process in an organization, and being a DevOps engineer, it carries out the process to carry out the forward, the task that they understand the various aspects of the DevOps, maybe culture, philosophies, and the tools. Now, almost all the companies now, they follow the DevOps. If you talk about the Google, Netflix, Amazon, Facebook, Walmart, Airbnb, Amazon, all the big companies now, they use the DevOps. The development team and operations team works together, develop, integrate, test together, make the changes, and have a system ready with the customer satisfied. Now the question, what is a DevOps technology? Is it a new language? Is it some code or what? So if you say the DevOps, it's just a development operations, the same technology, the language we have been using. whether it's a Java, PHP, Python, any language, what we have been using to develop the applications. It is some tools, automation tools, continuation integration tools that just ease the development process, makes it more efficient, faster delivery. Now, if you look at this, one of the picture, it says once we, let's say after doing your senior 4, senior 6, someone has a passion to become a programmer. And she says to her father or mother that I want to be a programmer in the future. Then there's also the parents thinks, shall we tell her the truth of the current future? What will be the future of coding? We don't need the programmer now, who sits, type the programming for long and long and long. We need someone who should be smart, efficient, no coding, automation tools, does the work like anything. Sitting 1 week, a simple programming using the DevOps tools, the new integration tools, make the task easier and faster. Now, what is that DevOps tool? So as I showed, it's the infinity. As you can see in this figure, it shows the infinity. Means it's a continuation process where the DevOps